welcome to Cinemondo with Kathy and Amit from D54. Yay!
Hello.
We are talking about Max.
Maximum.
That's it.
Maximum.
Max.
Max.
Max. I know. I love the title. It's hard to
Yeah.
search. You have to add a lot of extra information to get this, but
Mhm.
it is Max. So the trailers for this were great. I loved him
Yeah.
like in the big, vehicle, the bus or whatever he's driving. It just looked really badass and cool. And it was just talking about the most violent film. And he looked really cool. And he got up there, he had an axe and everything. It was very cool. The trailers were great for this. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yep.
So the movie finally came out. And this is one of the ones I was really looking forward to because I really like the Kichcha Sudeep. I think he's so charismatic. I loved him in Ega. He just has this great kind of villain.
Oh yeah, far out. Yeah.
So good.
I forgot he was in that movie. Yes, he's very good.
Right? And Vikrant Rona wasn't the best movie, but I liked the production value, and he was great. He's always great. Camera loves him.
Yeah.
There's nothing bad to say about Sudeep.
Definitely has a lot of screen presence, as they like to say.
A lot of screen presence. Yes, he has the Ritz. He does.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a movie that's basically about a disgraced cop, right?
Is he a disgraced cop?
They kind of keep him out.
Is he an admired cop? Like they're all like.
Well,
I guess he's kind of like a rogue cop, right? Like because he's kind of has a
He has to clear his name because he did something shady. Like let's see.
Yeah, correct.
The prime minister's son was killed at the police station where he works, and so he looked like he was slacking on the job. I think that was kind of it.
Right.
But everyone was afraid when they found out he was on his way.
Yeah, and at the train station, there's like that small scene where like those two girls come like, "Oh my god, we admire you so much! Like you're our hero."
I know. So that was funny.
I guess he has a shaded past, but a reputation to, I guess, not to be messed with. I guess
that's it. It's the cops that break the rules. Now the rule makers don't like it, but everyone else does. So he kind of. It's not that he was bad. I shouldn't say disgraced. He just broke the rules. It went awry. He got the blame, and now he has to kind of. You can come back and save the day to make everyone appreciate him again. But people love their bad boys. I mean, that's it's and a lot of these cop movies are like that. It's always like the cop who doesn't play by the rules. He like either gets kicked out or he gets demoted. He has to work on the shitty cases or whatever. But you're always on their side, and they always get the job done, and they solve the crimes, and they get the bad guys. But they don't always follow the rules.
Yep. No, he definitely doesn't follow the rules in this one.
How tall is this guy?
Your own hands. He's very tall. Yeah, that is one thing.
He towers over everyone in this movie. I was like, how tall is he? I guess it's crazy.
Yeah, he must be at least 6 foot. 6 foot, unless they have unless the rest of the cast is really short.
I thought maybe this one. So he brings that. He's larger than life, and he is literally larger than life. I mean, he's just. And so every time they show him, it's literally like the beauty light and hair blowing very heroically.
Yes. He is a hero in this movie. And he's definitely a hero in this movie.
Brings his own fan wherever he goes. And he's so that's really fun though. But so basically this movie reminded me like of almost like a stage play where it took place all in one location, which is kind of cool. It became very isolation kind of movie where everyone's in one place. I mean, there's a few shots outside, but mostly they all converge on this one police station. It was kind of like
a central point. Yeah.
What was that John Carpenter movie about the police station that was under siege? It reminded me of that. I think I wrote it down somewhere, but let me look that up because that was actually. Okay. Oh, it reminded me of Assault on Precinct 13. So what's happening here is police, just a few police late at night, and all of a sudden all these bad guys come in, they try and take the police station. That's basically what this movie is. Very similar. There's different motivation, but so it was kind of cool just to see how that not only did they have to maneuver around the bad guys who were coming to get him, they had to maneuver around the actual police who were overseeing the police station, and they're like, "What's going on over there?" "Oh, nothing. Everything's fine." And they would have to keep putting on the show. "Oh, everything's fine." Hiding the dead bodies that weren't supposed to be there and dragging them to the bathroom while the inspector is walking through. So odd.
That was funny.
humor. So what
It
do you
did,
think?
no, it did. It definitely did have some sense of humor.
Yeah.
The whole scene when I think there's another cop that comes in by the name of Rupa, and
Yes.
like when it starts raining, and she's got like the blood spot on her shoe, and then they plan for her to walk through water. So while I wouldn't say it's like it's not a comedy, but it definitely has some lighter moments.
Yeah. It was
It
having
is,
fun.
uh, it is a little bit campy in the way it's sort of presented, and I don't mean that in
Mhm.
a bad way at all. Like I
No.
mean that in a definitely a good way. Like it definitely is. It knows what it's doing. It knows
Yeah.
what it's about. Like it's a guy who takes down 100 people at once. Like like there's not much realism to that, but that's completely fine. Overall, look, I did enjoy it. Like I think, to be honest, thinking back to the trailer, and I think I watched the trailer just before I got in this movie because I just wanted to remind myself of what this movie was about, and
Mhm.
I actually didn't even like. I couldn't remember that he was a cop in the trailer because the cop made him look like he was some kind of like rogue or some
Yeah.
vigilante
He
like
wasn't
that.
in a uniform at all. He
He
was
wasn't, right. Yeah, so I was
yeah.
like, okay. Then when they present him as a cop, I'm like, wait, what? He's a cop? So then I had to sort of get my head around like what kind of how they're gonna make him into a cop. What kind of cop is he gonna be?
Right.
But I mean, the part that fascinated me most was that he was struggling to he's struggling with the bad guys, yes, to defend against him, but he
Yes.
was also struggling with just the incompetence of the other cops around him. Like
They were so bad.
the level like of just incompetence that they had, like just and the way they acted was just so like it was a little bit one dimensional. Piece or like don't do this, don't do this, don't do this.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot of that, and I was like, okay, this guy has a lot to deal with here, and they're not helping him at all.
No.
But I think as the movie went on, I sort of appreciated this movie more and more. There is a twist that comes later, which I think I did not see coming at all, like the one where they had they reveal like the double agent, I guess, or they reveal
Yes.
not the double
Yeah.
agent, reveal what actually happened because they give us little
Yeah, I
tease
did like
at
that.
the
That was
start.
cool. They had to kind
Yeah,
of
because they give us
revamp what you thought happened and then what
yeah,
really happened. Yeah, that was
because I
cool.
was convinced at that point because
Yeah.
we're sort of believing everything that Sudeep is Max is sort of doing, and
Yeah.
so he gives us the presentation of what happened, and
Yeah.
because he's so trustworthy in this movie compared to everyone else, you're just gonna believe what he says, and
I
then all of a
would.
sudden,
I did.
yeah,
I
we did
mean,
that, and then all of a
he
sudden
says it
it's
with
like,
such
wait.
confidence.
And that scene when he's on the phone, like the other couple is on the phone, and then he's like, "Who are you talking to? Your wife is here." And it's like, "Oh no,
Oops.
damn, he's a mole, he's a bad guy." And then you find out all the reasons why, what happened, and it
Yep.
does have a bit of emotion to it. That scene, it's like, "Oh
Yeah.
damn, this is going to get pretty serious now." So,
Yeah.
yeah, I did like it. It had a lot to offer. It was fun. It was
Good.
had emotion, had some comedy.
That's
That
right.
mechanic was hilarious as well. Like he
Yep.
comes and fixes a flat tire, and then he sees the dead bodies, and he's like, "I don't." He's like, "I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything."
It's okay. I'm leaving. I'm okay. I know it's really funny. I know it was actually really cute. I like where too he was talking about. He kept saying, "Well, he's like boom, boom, boom." Like he
Oh
was.
yeah, that's
That
the
was really funny.
Bow Wow Black Sheep song and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
So odd. But he's just such a great actor. You can't take your eyes off of him. Everything he was doing, like you're saying, the writing was a little bit light here. Like I don't think they gave him he did a lot with what he had. But I feel
yeah,
like the rest of the cast felt a little lost. And I felt like
mhm,
the plot was a little thin. But you cannot take your eyes off this guy. He gives you everything you want. He's like he's doing all these terrible things, but you're always on board with what he's doing. It's like
yeah,
it's fine with me. And even if he ended up being the bad guy at the end, which he didn't, but I would still be following him. It's just the way it is.
yeah,
That's the way you do it. But I think the idea that like first of all, I feel like the idea that it was very isolated was interesting, but it also I think it kind of hurt it production value wise because I feel like
mm,
you you knew it was a set. It looked like a set. And then the
yeah,
windows, a lot of times you didn't see anything outside the windows, it was just kind of blank.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I thought
That's
that
true.
was kind of weird. So it felt very stagey, but it almost was beside the point. It almost felt like a surreal moment as if it was almost in
Mm,
his head. And I was kind of wondering for a second if they were going to pull it. They didn't. But I did think that was kind of interesting. But I like too that I said in my notes, I said, love the selfie moment. There's like some kind of
oh my
selfie
god.
moment. So funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
There
love
was
that.
there was one scene. I don't know if this is what that's referring to, but the one where he's talking to like his boss or whatever it was,
Yeah.
right? Like he's like the higher commissioner, or whatever role, whichever the authority was there, and he's like talking to both people, and like one's on like a selfie stick, and one's on like a TV,
Yeah.
and one's on like a camera,
It
and
was
he's like
so
having multiple conversations. So yeah, it had some stuff that I
it's
don't know.
really
There's some
funny.
like this stuff is kind of charming. Like it's creative.
Yes,
Like
it
okay, how
was.
are we gonna show the bad guy? Let's not just do exposition. Let's do this cool
It
scene with
was
like
really
multiple cameras.
It was odd because a lot of the movie took place on the phone. They kept getting on their
Yeah,
phones, and it was very weird.
yeah,
But I did love where he's like, the commissioner was like, "Let me see what's going on over there." So he's kind of walking him through, and he's kind of avoiding. Oh, there's a body there. I'll just take my camera right
Uh-huh.
here. And then the people were kind of
I like
dragging him
that.
out of the scene. So he's kind of trying to show everything's fine, and we're going at this,
Yep, yep, yep.
people laying dead against the wall, and he just, oh, just leave it. That
Yep.
was really funny. I thought that was
That was
very,
funny. That was very
it was
funny.
really
Yeah,
cute.
no, no.
It
It's
was
good.
really cute, but it had a little bit of that. It was like not as serious as I thought it was going to be. Like I said, it was a little cheeky. It had the fun stuff with the phones. The phone thing was kind of weird, but also kind of fun. They got creative with it, but I did
Mm.
think it was weird when you just have all these people on the phone all the time. It's just very strange.
Yeah, they had a lot of split screens, like
Yeah, it was a
call
lot.
and then cut the screen in half,
Yeah,
like I guess we are
yes,
right now. So a
yeah,
lot of
kind of
sort of
like this. We
that.
are right now are in this movie.
Yes, we are
We're
Max.
in this
Yep, yep.
movie, and there's that weird creepy guy behind me that's probably going to kill me later. But so, but I did enjoy it. I love seeing Sudeep in anything, really.
Mm.
So that was really fun for me. And so, any other additional thoughts on this movie? Anything you want to
Uh,
call out?
I know. I think we've covered most of the stuff. It was just a fun movie. I thought, like, so, like,
It's a
I
fun
came in
movie.
with from the trailer. I got the sense this was going to be, not too deep in terms of plot and
Yeah,
stuff like that. If it had something like that, then I would have been surprised. But I
yeah,
didn't come with that expectation. If I like, okay, this is an action movie,
yeah.
it definitely delivered on the action. Like he was
It
in a
did.
lot of action sequences, and they had some good ones too. Like I think,
Yeah.
in the second half, especially when they had like when it's all sort of coming together,
Yeah.
when all the bad guys are just like coming down onto him, and they have
Yes.
like the fire around the police station,
Yes.
and some of
So
the
good.
traps that they laid to like get the cars to go into one direction and blow them all up had some cool stunts.
It did. It's very fun.
I did, but in saying that, I also did like how it didn't just jump straight to that. There was more to it than that.
Yeah.
Like they actually attempted to give us some twists and turns.
Yeah.
Have some, I guess, tension between hiding the body and the cops lying about where the
I love that.
actual two people were they dead
Yeah.
or not. So it did
It
a
was
lot to
very fun.
me. It actually
It
th-
was.
it wasn't just when I saw the trailer and when I saw the first like 15 minutes, I thought, okay, it's just going to be
Yeah.
they're going to be in trouble. Bad guys are going to come, and the whole movie is just
Yeah.
going to be them defending themselves. And I was like, all right, this is going to get boring soon. But then all the sort of twists and turns made it
Mm.
worthwhile. So I honestly I enjoyed it. There wasn't too much I didn't like about this. It's not a movie that I'm going to think is going to be one of the best of the year or anything like that. But if you just want to have a good time, which I often do,
Good
and
time.
just shut your brain off,
Yeah.
this is perfect.
It's perfect. And it's like it defied expectations. Again, like sometimes you go into a movie and you're kind of sitting there, okay, this is what this was going to be. And you're just kind of sitting there letting it play out.
Yeah.
But it did have a lot of surprises, like the format changed. I loved kind of the way they handled, like you said, the traps, the way they're presenting to
Yeah.
people with the phones and all. That was really unique. And I was like, oh, this is different. And
Mm.
there was something about just all the focus on him, everyone
Yes.
spinning
Yes.
around him, even if it's just in one location, it was all about him. So you got a lot of quality Sudeep time. So very
Yeah,
happy
yeah.
with that.
He was front and center of this movie.
Every scene almost, except
but in, but in,
before he got
but
there.
in saying that, I would say the villains also did a pretty good job. Like
That's true.
I
Yeah, they
think
did. Yeah.
I think the villains did a pretty good job. His sidekicks were kind of one dimensional. They
Yeah.
were just screaming all the time, as we mentioned. But like the
Screaming.
villains, I think were just they were just
They were.
screaming and crying most of the time.
They were
But
a
the
little
villains did
helpless.
a pretty
They
good
were
job.
cops.
I
I
know
feel
they
like
were
it'd been better
cops.
if they were more competent than just idiots
Me
like
too.
they were.
That's one part that I couldn't put
That's
together.
my
I'm like, you
it
guys
was
are cops, and why are you acting like children? Like,
I
you
know,
guys
they
can
act
defend
like
yourself too.
it was
Like,
like, "Okay, we're gonna put you in this building, pretend like you're cops." And they were like, "Okay."
uh,
And then when some things go awry, "Oh, no, I don't know how to be a cop. What am I supposed to
uh,
do?" It's like, "Come
you
on
must
now."
save us. You must save us. You must save us. Like,
I know,
come
say
on.
that. It's like, "You have a gun. You are a cop.
You're trained. Yeah, yeah. No, I didn't
You're
get that. But
trained."
but the villains were good. I thought the villains were actually pretty good,
They
especially
were.
the dynamic between like the big boss. I don't know. He looks familiar, that actor. I'm not sure who he was, but the other one, the Rupa and him, like the two like I guess powerhouses of the bad
Mhm.
guy side. They had a good dynamic,
They did.
and the sort of trying to follow who he was. They had this whole scene with the guy like stuck in the back of a truck, and he was like the GPS for them.
Yeah,
Like,
it was really funny. It was fun.
my main criticism was basically, I think we have the same one. The sidekicks were not,
Yeah,
yeah,
they should have been more
competent.
fleshed out. They should have been
Um,
more capable sidekicks for him. Like, he was
and there's
basically
so
their
many of them.
dad, and
There
he
was like
was the
10.
kid. Yeah, it was
There's like 10 of them. So like, and like none of them like stood up at all. They were all just, yeah. That's the only
they just
part that I
became
think.
something else for him to deal with, and it was like,
Yeah.
they should have helped him. He was there, like, he felt to me like he was their dad. He'd sit on the stairs and go,
Yeah.
"This is what's gonna happen," and they're like, "Okay," and you're like, "This isn't
Like,
gonna work.
yes, yes.
It's not gonna work at all. You're gonna have to do everything."
Yeah.
And, technically, I'm all for Sudeep doing everything, so I was okay with it. So, but yeah, if you like this actor, you will love this because he has lots
Yeah.
of good fun and quality time. I'm looking forward to his next movie. I think this is really cool and just like a more pared down, gritty, ground level kind of action movie. There wasn't too much crazy slow mo
No.
anything. It was pretty. It was like
Yeah.
kind of more like you're saying, cat and mouse. Lots of like the ring of fire, little traps.
Yes,
Hiding the
yes.
bodies. It was more like that, more like a cat and mouse
Mm.
kind of thing. But it was fun.
It's fun.
It was fun.
Definitely.
So be sure and check out. We have some trailer reactions to this movie. Be sure and look for those, and
Mm.
be sure and visit D54 for all of your Malayalam needs. And you will see me and Melanie and all kinds of guests on his channel. It's super fun. So be sure and check him out. And we will catch you guys next time.
See
Bye.
ya.